All right, so I'm with Kelsey, and Kelsey was wondering how to do a scatter brush in Photoshop. And the other day we made magic together, and you just wanted to understand kind of how to actually set up that scatter brush. So we made a couple layers of these kind of magical things. So what we're going to do is going to redo that process. So when you're in Photoshop, you set up B for brush with your tools, and there's a thing called tool presets that I don't have up right now. Let me hit F for full screen just so that I can get all this other stuff back. See you, Jordan. Okay, so here is brushes, and that's not really what I want. There are some scatter brushes in here, but we want to kind of make our brush do some things. So that's inside of this brush settings. So if you don't have it, you would go to Window and choose brush settings. F5 is a shortcut. With this, then you have the opportunity to do a couple things. Scattering is the first thing that a brush can do for creating sort of a magical feel. So we're going to up the scatter, and also it shows it to us down below here. So there's no scatter on this right now. It's set to 0. We're going to scatter it like that. And then if we want to up the axes, it's doing both axes. So it's going Y and Z axes. I typically don't do that. Just one is enough for painting. But it depends on what you want. Count, lots more. Less I find better because I can always push it kind of stamped a little bit more. And a count jitter is going to be a little hard to see what that's actually doing right there. So I like that. Also shape dynamics, it depends on what you've chosen. So size jitter, you can kind of make it look like little lightning bugs that are in different distances with a size jitter. Angle, something that's round is not going to show that much, but if it was a brush that was like a hatch one way, that angle jitter would show it this way, and then this way, and this way, and that way. And that's why a lot of the like leaf brushes are built. The other thing that you can do is play with color dynamics. So you can do a foreground and background jitter. And I can't see it right now in this thing, but it will pick up from the white and the blue when I've got that, or whatever color is in my foreground and background. There's also hue jitter, saturation, things like that. So let's try that. The other thing that we can do in order to make it feel like it's glowing is set it to color dodge when we paint with it. So color dodge really kind of gives it that kind of glowing look. So I've got blue and white right now. I'm going to flip this and change the blue to be maybe a purple. So let's try that. I'm going to turn off the previous magic layers. I don't know where that other lantern glow, there we go. Okay, so this is a new one on this scatter, and so I'm just taking my brush around, and I can see that it's not quite big enough for what I need on your piece right now, Kelsey, so I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger with the bracket on the right and kind of play with that. I'm also at a lower opacity, and I really want it to be more intense. So I'm going to hit Command Z. I'm going to push the opacity up to 100, and now you can see I'm kind of stamping it around. So is that what you were looking for, Kelsey?
Yep, I got it now.
Got it. Okay, fantastic.